So is it your body or is it your brain? I recently did an interview with CJ Edwards, who is a female to male transgendered person, and I asked him what it meant to him to be transgendered.
Alright, well, transgendered for me, I guess, is different than transgendered for anybody else that might identify that way. For me, it means that my physical body doesn't match what's inside, like in my mind and, I guess, soul, if you believe in that. So physically, I'm female, was born that way, popped out, doctor went, oh, okay, it's a girl, and that's how I was raised, right? But for me, that never really fit at all. And identifying as male and working on transitioning towards looking more and sounding more male is really important to me. So I guess that's what transgender means for me.
I later asked him what it meant to be passing in the transgender world.
What I'm doing right now is I always wear a binder. It's a chest compressor, so that I don't appear to have breasts. And testosterone is the biggest one. It's probably made the biggest impact in my life too.
Later in the interview, I asked CJ to explain the difference between sexual orientation and being transgendered. I think he did a pretty good job.
In the LGBTQ law, alphabet soup, inside of that realm, there's so there's like lesbian, gay, bisexual. That has to do with sexuality, right? Sexual orientation. That has to do with who you're attracted to. So I like guys. I'm gay. That has nothing to do with my gender identity, which is male. I mean, except that me liking guys makes me gay, because I am a guy. But trans men aren't specifically gay or straight or bi or whatever else you want to identify as. A lesbian does not want to be a man. And a gay man doesn't necessarily want to be a woman, or doesn't want to be a woman.
There's not a lot of resources in Kansas City when it comes to being transgendered or trans-friendly places. So I contacted Courtney Munzik, who is the founder of Open Doors in KC, and I asked her what kind of resources she has at her center for trans people.
Open Doors in KC is an organization that strives to provide a safe environment for LGBT, especially those who are 18 and over, to meet, interact, and to also provide resources both online, offline, local, and national. And the reason that I started Open Doors in Kansas City is because I came out in Kansas City when I was 19, and I was going to school, and off campus there was nowhere that I could go and safely identify myself as a lesbian. And so I wanted to create something where other people didn't feel that kind of closeting and claustrophobic effect. And so I created Open Doors, which provides people a place to be themselves and to find resources to help them understand themselves as well. There are several resources that I do provide for trans individuals. I've got links on my website to other websites that are specifically created for trans individuals to help them out. I've got links to blogs where people discuss trans issues, as well as I have titles of movies and books that deal with the trans topic as well. I have had several personal interactions and dealings with trans individuals. Being the director and founder of Open Doors, one of them is my diversity officer is very openly trans. She works with different organizations on trying to get their health policies and insurance policies to be much more trans friendly, as well as several of our regular attending individuals are openly trans as well. In Kansas City, which is where my organization is based, there's not a very accepting atmosphere for trans individuals. And while I identify as lesbian, and I know Kansas City is not very accepting of the lesbian or gay communities, the trans communities have it a little rougher, and I think it's a little worse for them as well.
Hi, I'm Cody Cole, and I'm a female to male trans person. Now, I'm not here to give you my own personal views on being transgendered or my own personal coming out story. I'm more here to give factual information that can help clear things up or help better understand. There are several different terms under the trans umbrella. There's transgendered, who is someone who has not had surgery yet. There's transsexual, someone who has had surgery. There's transvestite, someone who dresses up for sexual reasons as the opposite gender. There is genderqueer, who is someone who has a fluid gender, which means it depends on the day whether or not they want to be called he or she. There's also drag, which is someone who dresses up for entertainment purposes. So drag shows, drag king, drag queen. There are 3 procedures that a trans person can go through in order for them to make their bodies match their minds. Now, for female to male, there's chest surgery, which is removal of the breast tissue, the mammary glands, and they will go in and sculpt the muscles and the bone structure to make them appear more masculine and more male. There's lower surgery, which takes the outward female parts and makes them male. Now, at this time or before this time, the person can choose to have a hysterectomy, which is taking the female organs inside and having them removed. Once again, this is done before or during lower surgery. The last thing is hormone replacement therapy. And that is when a female to male trans person would take testosterone to replace the estrogen in their body. This will lower the voice, it will make them grow facial hair, and essentially it will make them appear more masculine so their bodies will match their brain. This is usually done before any surgery and has to be written a prescription for. Now, from male to female trans people, there is also upper surgery, lower surgery, and hormone replacement therapy. They're just a little different. Instead of removing the breast tissue is added and sculpting of the body to appear more feminine instead of more masculine. Lower surgery, male parts are turned inward and made female parts. Unfortunately, there is no female internal organs, so they can't reproduce. And also, they have to go through hormone replacement therapy, but instead of replacing the estrogen in their body, they are replacing the testosterone. And unfortunately, it does not have as many benefits of replacing testosterone, but it does help.